Okay, so I find that the Institute is really at the crossroads of art, culture, business, and olfactory studies. And you've told me that this is also kind of where your PhD research lies.
Yes.
So, how have these concepts played a role in your career so far, and how do they speak to each other?
Art and culture, and I would say accessibility is another one in there, have been the core of everything I've done since I started my career, as it were, and that stems from my father, who is, in the public arts and who's a super community oriented, open, happy, awesome dude, you know what I mean? And he's also Cuban. So there's a lot of context politically there. So that's art, culture, and accessibility are super important to me. And my entire life, I've been averse to business. I found business to be problematic, at least the way we do business in the US. But with the PhD, the art, culture, accessibility, and business are sort of convening, because what I realized, after running the Institute for 12 years or however many years, is that business is an important part of this, because we live in the world we live in. And business is really where the power lies. My dad told me once, I was like, oh, I don't want to get money from that person. He's like, honey, don't kid yourself. Money is power. So if you ignore money, you're ignoring power. And it was something he said kind of offhand, but it really stuck with me, that actually, like, if you're studying accessibility and power, you have to follow the money. You have to go to where the money is. And that is, at least in the fragrance industry, also in media, in the big businesses that run it. So that's sort of where that interest started to play in.
Yeah, it's funny because I, like you, was always kind of adverse to business. Like, oh, I don't need a
Yeah.
MBA. I want to study art or culture, whatever that may be. But my mom always said to me, Sophia, you will need business. You
Yeah,
will
it's the
always
folly
need
of
business.
youth. We think we can get by without it, but no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, then as you progress in life, you learn that being business minded, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to have an MBA, but just having that kind of business mind can really help in any field that you look at. And I
Yeah.
think for you, it's very prominent. Also, the fact that you have a nonprofit, or
Right.
you have to create programs within the institute which can serve the community, but you're balancing these ideas of profit
Yeah.
and
And then there's the
accessibility. Yeah.
additional thing that within the context of the Institute, like, I have my opinions about business, but that's definitely not what the community, a lot of people in the community feel. So what I've started to realize, actually, with the help of the board of directors, who are all like, grow up, Saskia, they're awesome. But what I've started to realize is, like, if we're actually trying to serve the community, we do need to think about survival mechanisms and helping them figure out how they fit into this industry, as it were. So yeah, I've been paying more attention to it because of that, because that's honestly what the community needs. Like, it's all well and good to be like, oh, you don't need to worry about money. That's a place of privilege to say that. Most people really do need to worry about money. And interestingly, my PhD, it's social practice art, it's business studies, and it's, obviously olfactory studies. So it's interesting to me that suddenly I'm doing a PhD that is related to business very closely.